All week long, we have been promoting the local author fair in West Bloomfield, taking place on Sunday, March 22nd at the West Bloomfield Township Public Library. Several local authors will be at this year's event, including someone who's taken her experiences with dentistry and used them to create a wonderful children's book, My Wiggly Smile, Olive's Stubborn Little Tooth. That author joins us now on the Splash Live, Dr. Amira May Woodruff, co-owner of Caring Smiles Family Dentistry. Amira, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Now, we've had you on a couple times before to talk about your work with dentistry. This is the first time we've had you on to talk about your work as an author. How did your career as a dentist influence your decision to write this amazing book?
Yes, well, I mean, every day I would be at the office and I would see patients, and my littlest patients, I would always try to think of a book that I could recommend to their parents that could be fun for them. And all I could think of was my favorite book growing up, which is the Berenstain Bears Visit the Dentist book. But I couldn't think of a modern one that I really loved enough to recommend. So I just eventually one day I said, you know what, I'm just going to write one myself.
All right, I love it. And quick note, just make sure everyone is aware it's Berenstain, not Berenstein. So don't let the Mandela effect trick you there. But this is so great. And I'm curious, what inspired you to explore these other creative outlets alongside your professional work as a dentist?
Yes, well, one thing you may not know about me is I'm also an actor. So I have a lot of creative energy. I do consider dentistry to be a creative science, but just in general, I have a lot of creative energy. And I was actually on a television set one day, and there's a lot of creative energy on set, so it's really inspiring, but there's also a lot of downtime. And so this was like around 2017, and I had written my first version of the manuscript for the book many years before that. But I thought to myself, you know, this would be a good time to really take it seriously and see what I could do with it. And so I used all that downtime, completely rewrote it on set, and then shortly after that got an editor and then published.
Oh, wow. So it sounds like it was a very long process to go from idea to having this book become a real thing. Is that correct?
Yes, for me, it was very long. And a lot of it was self-doubt because I'm not a writer, I'm a dentist and an actor. But I just figured if anyone, even if one person could be inspired by it or enjoy it or make them less scared about going to the dentist, then it would be worth it. And so I just did it. But yes, it did take a long time for me because of all the breaks in between the steps.
Well, I am curious because I'm sure as you're working your job as a dentist, you probably saw a lot of inspiration through maybe some of your patients and through maybe some of the common fears or experiences that they experienced. Did you notice any of that motivated you to write some stuff into this book?
Absolutely. So the main thing, because the book is about losing a first tooth, kids are always so excited to have a first loose tooth, so excited to the point where sometimes they'll come in and they're like, can you just take it out so the tooth fairy can come? So that was really inspiring. But also one of the things I was surprised by is a lot of parents are squeamish about seeing a loose tooth on their child. I was very surprised by that. But because of that, I actually included in the back of the book a chart for kids to keep track of the teeth as they're losing so that parents and the kids know how many more teeth are lost. A lot of parents are also surprised by how many teeth to expect to come out, and the number is 20. They're also surprised by how long it takes, like in years, before all the teeth are gone. And so there's also a chart that tells them when to expect to lose each tooth. So that way parents know and the kids know. And I just feel like knowledge about one's body is empowering, and that's for the kids and for the parents.
I love that. For those just joining us right now on the Splash Live, I'm talking with Dr. Amira May Woodruff, one of the co-owners of Caring Smiles Family Dentistry, who will be one of the feature authors at the local author fair with the West Bloomfield Township Public Library on Sunday, March 22nd. Now, we've seen a lot of people write books about going to the dentist before. You just mentioned the Berenstain Bears, but you yourself are a dentist. So I'm curious, how does that really help to influence the direction of this book as a dentist writing this story as opposed to authors writing stories about the dentist?
Well, I definitely think it helps coming from a truthful place, seeing what I see every day with kids. I know what excites them. I know what makes them nervous. And also she goes to the dentist in the book. So it comes from a very truthful place because it's my everyday life. But actually for me, the most interesting things about all books is really the feeling you get while you're writing, the relationships that resonate with you within the story, and then the themes that you might think about later on. So my favorite parts of My Weekly Smile is actually not really about the teeth. It's the diversity in the book. It's the special relationship she has with her family members and her friends. And then also there's all the stereotypical gender roles are flipped in the book. And none of these things are mentioned in the book. It's just there because they should all be normal things. And that's actually my favorite thing and has nothing to do with teeth.
I love that, showcasing many different things with this book. And I'm curious, what are you most excited about sharing with readers and families at the West Bloomfield Local Author Fair coming up soon?
Oh, I'm just most excited to see people who are just love the joy of reading and books and storytelling and getting to dive into a book and just have your imagination run wild. Those are all things I loved growing up. I still love reading. And so I would assume everyone coming is just has that shared connection of the love of storytelling and reading stories and learning about different worlds that way.
I think so, and there's going to be so many wonderful authors there, so there's plenty of books for everybody to check out. Amira, last question before we let you go. What advice would you give to other professionals who want to explore creative passions outside of their primary careers?
Just go for it. Just do it. I feel like the only thing people ever regret is not trying. And I think also we're all multidimensional people, and the everyday grind of life, it's easy to forget that. But you'll never regret going for something that you really enjoy doing. And so I just say, go for it. I did.
Go for it. It's that simple. We want to see everybody exploring what they want to do. Amira, thank you so much for joining us today here on The Splash Live.
Thank you for having me.